Welcome to the Teaching Bites podcast. Here are your hosts, Fred and Sharon Jaravada.
All right, so our experiment continues with another question that I do not know at all.
Okay.
So what you got?
What will disappear? What do you think will disappear in the next 10 years from education? Let me ask that again.
Disappear.
So what in the next 10 years will disappear from education? So think about the technologies happening, all that stuff. What are these practices or objects or things? What's going to disappear, you think?
I just the first thing I thought of, I don't know if it'll disappear completely because it's still important to have, but I feel like textbooks.
Textbooks.
It's already going there.
Mm-hmm.
With more of the iPad now and
Tablets, like Kindles.
Yeah, I think in college, I don't know about college, but I feel like that's going to go that way. Now, the value is you still have to know how to, the content of print, right? And like the book, the spine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for kids, they need to know that. But
especially younger kids.
yes.
The younger grades.
Yes.
K5-ish.
Yeah. But I feel like in middle school,
K8.
as the books get heavier
Mm-hmm.
and they're expected to do more projects using technology, maybe it's just easier, right? Like, let's just get everything on Kindle or whatever, or their own
Or
device.
PDF, right?
Yeah.
I know some teachers, they and I think they do this they did this in college when I was in college, and they also do this now in middle school. I've seen teachers make what are those study guides, printed study guides or whatever. They would make little booklets or books, or they print them out and they put those plastic rings around them, and they make this little book and pass it all to kids, and that's basically your textbook.
Syllabus?
Bigger than that.
Oh. I know what you mean. They make copies of like different texts and they bundle it into this.
Bundle them all together into one big.
Yeah, what are those called?
Could
I
be
used to have
100
those.
pages. Yeah, they're like study guides.
I actually
study
read
guides.
mine. I don't think you did, but
I did not. Yes, you're right.
I had all the highlights and the post-it, the flag.
You're the
tape
one
flags.
that had like the 3-color highlighters. Right?
Mhm.
Mine was all one color, and I highlighted everything.
No, you didn't. You probably had the same highlighter for 4 years. Just like your spiral notebook.
It lasted me 4 years. I'm a Trapper
Dang,
Keeper.
so green.
It was my Trapper Keeper. That's all I had. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And before that, it was my
Peaches.
Peaches. Exactly. So what do you? So you say textbooks.
Okay, how about
right?
you?
But wait. Before we move on, textbooks. Now, how old were your textbooks in your classroom? How old are they? What year?
You mean like the main curriculum?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the 2000s. But I've seen the 1950s
But still being used.
by other people. Mm-hmm.
So those are outdated already, and they're being used still, right? And do you remember the year that yours would you use? 2015, 2014,
2002, maybe.
2000. They're at least 10 years old, more than 10 years old.
When
right?
I started teaching, yeah.
So they're still around, those books, right?
I don't use it, but it's there. I just have it there because you never know when
That
you
was
need
probably
it.
the newest book you had, the newest textbook you guys had, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so that is a big problem also. So that needs to go. Textbooks like that, they need to go. I believe we should always keep like books and have real books on hand, like fiction and biographies, and those are great also. But I also agree with you that once they get heavier and heavier, and there's no sense of and these are expensive, right? These are really expensive. Books are really expensive, right?
Yeah, and then
So that eats up into the budget.
yeah, and actually I was thinking about going back. The card catalog is gone.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be used, and now the encyclopedia is pretty much gone.
Mm-hmm. The World Book, my favorite book when I was growing up.
My mom used to sell those, and they were so fun. And World Book, Childcraft, the science series. That was so fun to like open it and
Nerd.
read
You're
it.
such a
Hey,
nerd.
you read it too?
Actually,
You
that
read
is-
it more than me.
That is
okay?
my favorite book growing up. Is the World Book Encyclopedia.
Hypocrite.
Yeah, the 1981,
Hmm.
82, 81, 82, whatever. That volume. It's awesome. Brown, gold trim, black.
And that's why it's a good business, because you need one the next year.
But but that's why Wikipedia killed it all.
Yeah. Well, the internet in general.
Okay, what else? What else can disappear? What should disappear?
What do I think should disappear?
Okay.
Standards.
Oh. So the standards, why?
Well, I think there's two things. I think the standards have a bad connotation to them, because it's always like you have to get these in, right? So, and often, do we get to all of them? No. At the same time, it's a good guide, but I think they need. Common Core is trying to get there, but there's still a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
We have to know a lot, true, but there has to be a simpler way for teachers to tackle it.
Mm-hmm.
In my district, we have the math department, science department, right? Language arts, humanities department, tech, whatever, all that stuff, right? They often don't even talk to each other. So if in an ideal world they did talk to each other, they could help us with these cool project-based learning curriculum guides or something, then versus these isolated pacing guides. And of course, teachers, we have our own discretion of how we want to do it, but just something more integrated would be helpful.
Mm-hmm. How about grades? You think grades should disappear?
Oh, that's a good question. I think grades,
like the A, B, C, D, and F, right?
Okay, so I know for you two, but my school, K through 5, we don't have ABC, right? We have N.
Okay, yeah.
And
people use
S,
1,
O,
2,
all that
3,
stuff,
yeah.
numbers, right?
Right.
And so I think that should still be there. And at the same time, I know that when you go to college, they need to have grades. So that doesn't mean we can't change a college way of admitting students.
There are colleges, I think Stanford, and there's other progressive ones or rich ones, they're beginning to look into that, and I think they've started, in certain majors to getting rid of the grades. So
you mean not even using grades as a tool?
I think not. No, I think not completely, but I think it's part of the whole child, the whole experience.
So it's not as weighted. Grades. You're saying
it's not as weighted. Exactly, it's not as weighted.
Good. It should.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the thing.
Yeah.
So that'll probably grades will still be around in 10 years. I think they should. I don't know, but I think sorry to interrupt, but I think computers that are stuck to one place, they should disappear. Just like how computer labs should disappear also.
I thought about that too. I know
computer
you would
labs
say that.
and computers, desktop computers that are just stuck to one place, right? Even desks, right? I think the classic desk, they need to disappear also, right? And also file cabinets. Teacher file cabinets, those need to go also.
No.
Those need to go.
I need my samples of artwork to show the kids.
No. I think they need to go because 1, they take up space, and 2, I think there's better ways to organize things.
Then how would you do it? Like, okay, look, I have a file cabinet, and I put one drawer of organized by months. So like January, I'll put a file for New Year's and MLK and stuff like that. So I have like in the file I have his book or whatever.
Right.
And I just have everything together. So if I have art stuff to put on the wall or words, it's just all in that thing. So how do you organize it then?
Okay.
Tell me.
It's a good question, but I think
not a file cabinet. I'm going to put it in a different one.
Okay, so how about decorations? Classroom decorations have to go too, or old classroom decorations that you keep in your file cabinet, right? Those need to be updated, or those need to be I think
So you're saying don't hoard stuff.
I think that's one of the major reasons why what cabinets are for. They hoard things in closets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the hoarding should stop. Maybe not
Yeah,
the file
I think-
cabinets. Let's just go straight to
Okay.
the problem.
Yeah.
Hoarding resources need to stop, need to disappear,
Mm-hmm.
right? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. Maybe it's all technology. I don't know. But I get it. You need the February theme. You need the March theme. You need the
Yeah.
Christmas themes out there. And you need to store them somewhere. They can be in bins, I guess. They can move,
Mm-hmm.
when you need to.
Right.
How about...
I was just thinking, going back to the grades one, and you said how colleges are not as weighted as much on grades anymore, and I totally agree.
It's beginning to. Not now. But
And then, we've been talking about the 4 C's, right? Communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. So one thing that if you get rid of grades or lessen the weight, then you focus more on those skills that you need.
And those are hard
And-
to quantify.
Quantify and measure, right? So, but I feel like colleges should be looking at those if in a way. I know they see an essay, maybe some of them want videos or something, but I don't know too much about the admission process now. But that's something that's so important. I mean, knowing how to write. This is a kind of not going off topic now.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing how to communicate by writing. So valuable, right?
How about this?
So-
I'm going to be controversial right now.
Mm-hmm.
Getting rid of maybe it's not even getting rid of. What, as a teacher in 10 years, which is more important to teach kids? To write a 5-paragraph essay or make a blog post?
I know your answer
What's
is
more useful?
blog post.
Why?
Because that's what people do now, and you write to an audience, whether you're talking about your knitting or your hobby, biking or something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Your boss doesn't.
Or your
really say-
opinion piece on an election?
Yeah, and your boss not gonna say, "Oh, I need a 5-paragraph essay right now."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, those skills to write an essay is gonna be within the blog, maybe.
Mm-hmm. But there are different ways to format
the-
a blog too, because they're formatted differently. Like sometimes the paragraph will be only 2 sentences. Those are really designed for mobile devices, really, so that it doesn't look. It's easier on the eyes when you read when 2-sentence paragraphs when you're on a phone or on a tablet. It's much easier to read like that. That's why you see these certain blog posts. They're very short, very, very short paragraphs.
Mm-hmm.
But their idea still gets through.
It depends on what they're talking about, too.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I think when it comes down to it, it's really the audience, right? Because 5-paragraph essay, is that going to stay in the classroom?
That's probably going to
maybe-
say. Maybe go to the bulletin board.
Yeah.
That
Like
needs to
mine
go
does.
too.
Yeah.
I think that needs to go too. Sorry.
No, I don't. No.
Because that needs to be taken a picture of and you put it on a blog.
Well, I think you should still have it, but I think you have to go beyond it too, because they like to see their work up on the wall. Wait, so you're saying that a kid shouldn't put their work on the wall?
Well, maybe, I think again, it's probably, I know it's controversial. Maybe backtrack a little bit. Maybe put them, that doesn't need to be so, well, I guess it really those classic essays that are on the wall or writing on the wall, those are pretty individual work, right? There are no only you, the teacher, and the student talked about it. No one else was part of the teamwork of building or making.
Well, you have peer editing, you have feedback.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I don't know. Maybe,
but primarily
maybe
it
I'm
is the
thinking that-
author.
Yeah, primarily it's the author, but it's just I think a bigger audience would be amazing, and maybe obviously kindergarten, first grade, second grade, even up to third grade. I think it's important to share physically their work up there. I think that's great too.
Well, I think it's better.
So I'm thinking maybe late middle school into high school, something like that. or in college, obviously. I think it's very powerful when you start sharing it out like that.
Yeah.
I don't know where to stop it. Maybe 5th grade, probably.
You mean to stop putting...
Displaying student work? But you're displaying it online. You're displaying it to the world. You're displaying it in a different way. In a much, much larger universe.
So you should start in 5th grade, you're saying, to display it to the world.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong grade. I'm not.
So should they still put it on the wall then, in 5th grade and above?
But they can put it in a digital wall.
Yeah, they can too.
Like they can put it on the TV.
The physical wall and
how about instead a physical wall? How about in the TV that's interactive? Or at least let's do this. Let's go ahead put that on the wall. The physical essay on the wall, but it's interactive somehow. You put a QR code that takes a picture, the QR code, and it goes into an audio reading or video reading of the student.
Mm-hmm.
I think that needs to be not necessarily disappear, but it needs to be updated or enhanced.
Changed. Yeah, I agree with that.
Enhanced.
I think it has to go out.
So probably
more.
it's not going to disappear next year or 10 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
What else should disappear?
I was just thinking about something else.
How about admin? Certain workflows.
You definitely need a dean or a head or principal.
Okay. Yeah.
But when you get to the district office level with the board and the public school, at least, you might not need so many
levels, right?
Right. I mean, I understand it's just the way of the structure.
Especially if you're in a big city.
You have to kind of delegate to next person, which goes to the next person.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to be more deliberate and focused, with a purpose. Because sometimes it takes forever to get to the answer.
Okay, how about field trips?
Never go
Never.
away.
Yeah,
never. No, that's not even a question.
I guess just enhanced again with virtual reality.
Like, yeah, if you can't go somewhere,
mm-hmm.
or
visit someplace way out across the world.
Yeah,
right.
Or even if you can go there, you could do that as a pre-lesson before you go there.
Mm-hmm.
But field trips should not go away. I go every month. You know that. You're like, Sharon, field trip today? You always ask me. I go like week. 3 sometimes, but I love them. It's tiring, but
that's good.
God, you have to. You have to go.
How about class sizes?
Class sizes.
Current class sizes have to go.
In public school and everywhere.
Public school.
Yeah. They should be like 15, 20.
How about 12 kids?
No. You
don't want 12 kids?
No.
Too small?
Too small. 15, 20.
Really? You want to keep it 20? Okay.
Right now, my school is 22.
Okay.
And when you have 2 more, sometimes it feels like a lot more.
So would you like to get rid of the solo teacher and have an extra teacher there? Assistant?
Yeah, I would love to have an assistant.
So get rid of the solo teacher. Get rid of the solo teacher, or enhance the solo teacher with another associate or assistant. Right?
Yeah, it's not get rid of. It's add.
It's adding. Yeah, I guess adding.
I mean, I guess this is like a dream. These dreams.
Yeah, these are dreams.
Things,
great.
Enhancing.
So yeah. Anything else? What should we get rid of in 10 years? So grades, admin needs to be cleaned up a little bit. The professional development needs to be. What part of professional development has to be getting rid of? Oh, I guess in professional development, get rid of these one size fit all type of professional development for all the teachers.
Which is why we are here serving you guys. Right? We know.
Sometimes we're all supposed to go to professional development we don't like.
Yeah.
Right? That needs to go.
That has to go. The one ear out the other. One size fits all.
And also teacher training. Yeah, the teacher silo, working in the silo, this feeling burnt out. That needs to go. Teacher burnout needs to go.
Yeah, I know you guys agree out there. I also think teachers need more time to collaborate, especially in elementary school. I don't have prep time really, and after school, there's parents deal with meetings. Meetings maybe have to go to. I mean, no.
Maybe
No.
meetings.
Inefficient meetings that don't go anywhere.
Those have to go. Yes.
You have to have meetings still, but more time for collaboration. So I guess for me, I'm guilty of kind of chatting with teachers about this and nothing related to school, but you need that too, right?
Right.
But then you'll waste like 20 minutes. Like, I'm supposed to go grade those 10 stacks of paper.
How about teaching facts?
Depends how you do it. I think you have to still do it. I mean, it depends. The kids discovering it themselves, or are you making them find out?
But the kids are finding it for themselves. That's a better way than just feeding them, just dumping all this information they may not care about. Anyway, I mean,
Depends on the
that's
structure
something-
of your
right.
lesson.
That's
I mean,
another episode
yeah.
we can talk about.
Anything
that's pretty
else?
deep.
Have to go.
I think that's it. I think we're good for this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I could think of so many more.
Yeah,
Maybe we need a part 2.
maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think, you guys? What should we do?
What should disappear in the next 10
Yeah,
years?
10 years. And then we could do another episode for 20 years. I mean, that's a longer stretch too.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for listening. Please share the show with all of your connections out there. We really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Teaching Bites podcast at www.teachingbites.com.